Hello everyone, this is S K Mishra. Today we learn the TDS provision under GST. Everything about TDS, which is covered under section 51 of the CGST Act, will be discussed in details in this video. So let's get started. The TDS provision under GST is covered under section 51 of CGST Act, and this provision is applicable with effect from 1st October 2018. The rate of TDS is 2%. In case of intrastate supply, it is 1% under CGST and 1% under SGST. And in case of interstate supply, it is 2% under IGST. So to whom it applicable? It applies to both goods and services, and this provision attract when the value of taxable supply under a single contract exceed rupees 2,50,000, and this 2,50,000 amount is excluding GST. When the supply is made to government, local authority, government department, public sector undertaking, societies established by the government or local authority. In that cases, when these authority makes payment to the supplier, they need to deduct TDS under GST Act. For deduction of TDS under GST, the person liable to deduct TDS is compulsorily required to obtain registration as tax deductor, irrespective of amount of turnover. And the deductor has the privilege of obtaining this registration under GST Act either by pen or by pen. In case of normal registration, as you know, the GST is always pen based, but GST number in case of TDS deductor is, it could be either pen based or it could be pen based, because the government or a local authority, municipal corporation, they may not have or do not have the pen number. Normally they have 10 number, so they can apply as a tax deductor or to obtain registration under GST Act by their 10 also. And this registration as tax deductor, this is completely different from the normal registration which is required under section 22 of CGST Act. So even if a person already registered under GST Act, still if the TDS provision is applicable to them, they need to obtain separate registration for deduction of TDS under CGST Act or GST. So to whom it applies or who is required to deduct TDS? A department or establishment of central government or state government. Exception is there. Exception is it doesn't apply to establishment or authority under Ministry of Defense. And local authority, government agencies, and a certain category of person notified by the government by notification number 50 of 2018. So under this notification, there are certain entity has been notified, that is covered, that authority or board set up by the parliament or a state legislator, any establishment in which government hold 51 or more % equity participation or control, society established by the central government or state government or local authority, and public sector undertaking. So these are the entities who is required to deduct TDS under GST Act. When TDS not to be deducted, TDS deduction is not required when the taxable value of supply is less than 2.5 lakh under a single contract, the receipt of service which are exempted, the receipt of goods which are exempted, goods on which GST not leviable, for example petrol, diesel, petroleum crude, natural gas, ATF, and alcohol for human consumption, because these goods are outside the purview of GST for the time being. And when the location of the supplier and place of supply is in a state which is different from the state or union territory where the deductor is registered, in that situation also TDS deduction is not applicable. all activities or transactions specified in Schedule 3 of the CGST Act. So Schedule 3 covers those items which are neither goods nor services. So in that case, it doesn't apply. Where the payment relates to tax invoice that has been issued before 1st October 2018, because this TDS provision came into operation with effect from 1st October 2018. So if a invoice is issued prior to that date, even if payment is made today, this provision will not attract. Where the tax is to be paid on reverse charge basis by the recipient, if a public sector undertaking is receiving any services or goods which is covered under reverse charge, then in that case, if the PSU is making any payment, they need not to deduct TDS under GST. Where the payment is made to an unregistered supplier, in that situation also TDS deduction doesn't apply. In case of supply made by government or PSU to another government or PSU, suppose NTPC is making payment to BHL, in that case this provision doesn't apply. What are the compliances required? The TDS deductor shall file the GST TDS return within 10th of the next month. The deductor shall furnish TDS certificate in form GSTR 7A to the deductee within 5 days of filing of return, and in case of non-compliance of this provision, there are penalty and interest provision is there. If TDS not deducted, there is penalty plus TDS. If TDS certificate is not issued within the prescribed time limit, there is a late fee of ₹100 per day, separately under CGST Act and SGST Act, it means ₹200 per day. TDS deducted but not paid within the time limit, then TDS with interest, late filing of TDS return, ₹100 per day under CGST and 100 per day under SGST. So, and the maximum amount is ₹1,000. These are few examples on TDS provision. Let us go through this carefully. NHPC Limited, this is a public sector undertaking. It had awarded a R&M contract, which value was 2,36,000, including 18% GST. It means the taxable value is 2 lakh and 18% GST 36,000, so it comes to 2,36,000. Here you see it doesn't exceed the prescribed limit, that is 2,50,000 excluding GST. So TDS provision is not applicable. But subsequently, what happened in this contract? Some deviation has occurred. So the final value of the contract has become 3,54,000. So here it exceeds more than 2,50,000. So TDS provision is applicable. So when the final payment will be made in the month of May 2022, then NHPC is required to deduct TDS under GST on the full amount. And let us see example 2. A composition scheme supplier is providing supply to Kolkata Municipal Corporation. This is a local authority. So amount is how much? 95,000. Total supply order value is how much? 2,55,000. The composition scheme dealer is not required to collect any tax. So this 2,55,000 is excluding GST. The amount exceeds the threshold limit of 2,50,000. So even if the payment is made 95,000, since the contract value is more than 2.5 lakh, TDS provision will be applicable. Here another example. This is the 5 power station. This is located in the state of Sikkim. Enter into a contract with a registered person of Siliguri, West Bengal for hiring of office space on a monthly rent of 50,000, excluding GST, for 2 years. So contract is for 2 years. So total value is how much? 50,000 into 24 months. Okay, it comes to 12 lakh. Where it is located? The office space is in the state of West Bengal. recipient is in the state of Sikkim, so the location of the supply and supplier is different from a place where the deductor is located, so TDS provision is not applicable in this situation. So these were the few examples. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on next video. Best wishes.